how to achieve incredible bunda gains when you have literally a pancake, zero, nothing, and only using 2 dumbbells today. So the people that are working out at home, or the people that are a little bit more shy at the gym and they're not quite ready to approach the big weights area. I know it's intimidating. Some people will looking like monsters, but I swear they're so nice to you. I understand that first intimidation that you might get at the beginning. So if you prefer staying in a small corner at first, when you adjust, you can still grow your glutes even with dumbbells, okay? And I want to even put you here a transformation of some of my clients that are trained at home alone without a program and did absolutely amazing. So it is possible, okay? We just need to do it right. So first, let's talk about the dumbbell selection. If you're at home and if you've not purchased some dumbbells, I recommend getting some cheap ones for either Amazon or eBay, and I recommend specifically the ones that you can dismount, okay? So the ones that have plates and you can add and remove as you please, instead of keep buying so many different weights, because we want to work at slightly increasing and decreasing the weight as we please. So instead of buying different dumbbells, it's just easier for you to buy one that you can just add and remove the plates, okay? So adjustable dumbbells are called. So that's the first step for you. But without any further ado, let's just get straight into the workout, and we will begin with the first exercise. Yalla, let's go. The first exercise, we're going to be looking into hip thrust, and I'm going to give a variation, okay? A beginner variation, a variation that is a little bit harder, and one that is more advanced. So for example, you can start, if you're total beginners, you don't really know how to do this, I recommend you starting with the first one, the easiest one, the beginner one, and then as you become more accustomed to it and you get used to it, then you can progress on to the next ones that I will show you. Okay, so start with level 1, the level 2 and level 3. For each exercise, by the way, I will do the same. I will do a very beginner one, more intermediate, and a more advanced for you. I put a resistance band here, that's not mandatory, but if you're a beginner, you can also completely remove it. And first we'll start with the movement, learning the movement alone before we put our dumbbell. So we will sit exactly where our brush strap line is, our chin tucked in. So we're gonna do this with our chin, okay? Legs a little bit more wide, okay, apart. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna slightly tilt our pelvis inward. So instead of having your bum sticking out, we're gonna be kind of like ready to tucking it in. Imagine you're a bee and you want to sting somebody. What is she gonna do? She's gonna kind of tilt her pelvis inwards, okay? So we're gonna do this, okay? Now so we tuck in, chin, and looking forward the whole time. What I will do is just put my hip towards the ceiling. So nice and easy like this, and using my glutes to drive the movements, big squeeze, and then down. Repeat all the way, okay? And then down again. Okay, nice and easy. Now we're gonna be doing this with the dumbbell, because that's the whole purpose of the exercise, for you to do it with the dumbbell. So we'll have our dumbbell over here and hold it to either side with our hands, just like this, okay? With our knees out, keeping our knees out. Remember to have the little tilt, chin tucked in, looking down, squeezing our glutes to come up and boom, and down. Okay, go all the way down and boom again. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more advanced, I will get the little band over here. This is the whole purpose, to add a little abduction. So at the top, open up. So you're doing like open a little bit and then go down again. Okay, you go up again, squeeze, and then open a little bit and then go down again, just like this, and that will make it a lot harder. Now we make it a really hard advanced one or progression. So once you master this, and let's work on between 10 and 15 reps. If you're working out at home, you can also reach 20 reps if you don't have big weights, by the way. Now we're gonna be moving on to harder variations. So how we will be doing this? Same, but we only with one leg, okay? So what's the difference with this? Because we're using one leg to complete the range of motion, we actually can't have our chin tucked in, otherwise the range of motion will be a little bit off. So instead, as we go up, okay, I will be looking up at the ceiling as I go up. And then I go down, and it's almost like my head and my gaze follows my movement. So as I go down, you see, I look straight, and then as I go up, and I look at the ceiling over here. And it's so much harder to do this, and you can do it also with your dumbbell. So this is so good because it isolates each side at a time, and it's so much harder as well. Okay, so if you're a little bit more advanced now, or if you've done the previous one, now you can introduce this one. Down and up. See, over here, really good. And you want to be doing 4 sets of this. Okay, and this is an exercise that you can do both at home and at the gym. All you need is a dumbbells, and if you're doing it at home, if you don't have a bench, you can use a chair or your sofa. Next exercise, it will be a squat, but wait, because I'm gonna give you the beginner, the intermediate and advanced version of this, okay? If you're a total beginner, we're gonna be practicing first by using either a bench, a chair, sofa, whatever you prefer. I would prefer a chair just because it's a little bit more rigid and more stable, and you won't kind of like bounce too much as you sit down. We don't wanna do this is too much when we're learning the pattern. Okay, and why do I say let's start with a bench first? Because when you're starting a squat for the first time, you'll have a lot of kind of fear of falling forward. So having something thinking that you will have to instead sit down will kind of teach you more about the movement. And speaking of teaching familia, some exercises, especially when you're a beginner, you will not be able to do very, very well, okay? What we do with our beginners, I literally have clients that have never even stepped into the gym ever before, or they've never done an exercise like this before. And we literally walk them step by step. We do video calls, literally at the gym, or if they're training at home also, or they send us videos back and forth so that we can review their form, okay? That's super important, because sometimes you might try and copy an exercise from a YouTube video or an Instagram or anything, but you're still not doing it right. And what's the point of you wasting so much time at the gym if you're not doing the exercises right, okay? We literally walk you step by step with everything. We teach you everything you need to do. We actually watch you individually. It's not just we give you a random pre-recorded plan for everybody. We literally teach you everything, not only about the exercises, but also about the nutrition that a lot of people also mess up a lot about. We help you, teach you everything. So if you're interested, link in the description below for that if you want to see some fast results. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna learn the movement of the squat. So we're gonna throw our hips back. A lot of people instead shoot their knees forward. They think they're moving forward when actually it's a movement of going backwards. We start by you kind of think of sitting down on a chair. That's the easiest way to kind of think, but keeping your knees out. So instead of keeping your knees in, a lot of people, that's what they do. We need to move them out of the way, okay? So keep them out all the time if you can. So that's for beginners, okay? So let's understand that. So keep your knees out and you sit down in the chair, you tap, or if you want, you can slightly sit back, but not too much, okay? And then push back in. So you need to learn with this squat movement. Now we add the dumbbells, our lovely dumbbell like this, okay? We keep them with our knees, not like this flying. It's better like this, so more stable. Okay, so again, you sit down, tap, and go back in. I prefer tapping because I can maintain more constant tension. Okay, spine neutral, so not like slouching, anything like that. Remember, nice and straight spine. Okay, we use our glutes. Push the movement. Push with your glutes. No need to do this, by the way, at the top. Now, this is for the lovely beginners. So let's make it a little bit more hard, but still not too hard. Okay, so now we'll remove the bench. We graduated from here. So if you're somebody that now got used to this again, we're gonna be doing at the beginning, full set between 10 and 15, and then you can progress up to 20, but it really depends on your level, okay? So I'm giving you here the general sets and reps, but obviously if you want a specific ones made for you based on you and everything and the exercise volume, again, link in the description. So what we'll be doing, this is a sumo variation. How does it change? So I'll show you from here so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So knees out, same thing, same pattern as before. This time I will lean more forward like this, okay? Maintaining my spine straight. Okay, so knees out, maintain my spine straight and bending down. First I'll do with no weight, okay? What I need to do is just descend down. Same concept, down, okay? And then up. That is a sumo. Why it's called sumo? Because we achieve a wider stance. So feet slightly rotated outwards, like a sumo fighter. Not too much, because if you do too much sumo, then you start feeling it more in your inner thighs instead of your glutes. So kind of in between. You need to find the perfect stance for you and for your body. So very nice and easy now. We'll grab our dumbbell like this and do this exercise. Perform it and then go up. Same thing. So, of course, what is the secret to see results? You will start with a weight that is very light, and then over time, I want you to start adding more weight. That's why I was telling you get adjustable dumbbells so you can adjust and add more weight over time, because if you do the same weight, then over time, your body gets used to it, okay? So as soon as you become good at this weight, then it's time for you to improve and get more weight all the time, okay? So this is the best way to actually progressive overload. Let's look at now the more advanced stuff, okay? So you know how to do this, you know how to do the sumo. Now let's add a little bit something more to make it more difficult. Let's say now you've done all your weights at home, you've done all the plates that you've got. How can we make it more difficult now without always buying? One little thing to make it harder, okay, is one little trick. It's called isometric training, isometric hold. What does it mean? We're gonna be holding for 3 seconds or more at the bottom. Not at the top, at the bottom, especially when the muscles is being stretched. We want to do this. So again, with our weight over here, okay, we'll go down and I'll wait. I'll count 1, 2, 3, and then I go back up. You can also do 5 seconds if you're a bad bee, okay? And you wanna make it even harder. But you'll notice that as you start doing this, you'll start getting so much harder. So what is our next exercise? We're gonna be doing some reverse lunges. So for our beginners, how are we gonna start this? By the way, it's always better not to use shoes like these because these are made for running. Obviously, I'm wearing these because I'm only filming a video. I'm not really like training. If you can, remove your shoes, go barefoot or buy some flat shoes. These have got a sort of heels, so not good for stability. Now let's learn about reverse lunges. If you're a total beginner, I recommend you holding onto something. So it could be like a wall or something or anything. If you're at the gym, it could be something like stable, a bench. This doesn't lift, but something that gives you some more stability for you to hold on. Okay, let's imagine here I've got like something I can hold on that is safe. Okay, and what I'll train myself is with one leg, I will lean forward. So I want to do this movement again, keeping the back straight, leaning forward like this and descending down. Okay, and then returning back. So we'll do first one leg at a time, because if you do first one leg, then the other, you might get confused. So do 10 reps first with one leg to get used to this, okay? And then up. As you progress, you can also eliminate any sort of stability for you and start doing it with nothing supporting you. And now we'll be doing instead with weight. If you're using stability, so if you're holding onto something, one leg, only do one weight. If you're now more advanced, then we can start using 2 dumbbells, because it will get harder the more dumbbells we do, okay? So same thing. Down, we want to touch all the way down, and then up. So 4 reps of this. What's the very advanced thing? Or Bulgarian split squat. So you'll use a bench or a chair or whatever, sofa, whatever you prefer. And what we will do, we'll have to use our lovely foot over here. So a little trick is to put your foot over here, okay, like this. Very nice and easy. And what we will do, we'll lift up from here, from this position. So leaning forward, lift up. So obviously you have to work on your balance more for this. We're gonna be having now to also work out on our upper glutes, okay, or isolating our glutes a little bit more. So we're leaving this exercise towards the end. And these are exercises that are key, by the way, to grow that shelf, okay? If you want that like sticking out glute thing, these are one of the best things. So unfortunately, because obviously we have only dumbbells with us, we're limited to the kind of exercise that we can do, but these are also really good. So to begin with, as a beginner, I want you to slightly progress onto the hard one, because this is okay, but there are better exercises. However, if you don't master this, it's harder to kind of jump on the next one. What I want you to do first is to start getting used to keeping your feet closed like this, okay, and opening up. This is a clamshell movement. It's not my favorite, I have to say, but I need you to kind of get good at this before we can progress on to the next ones, and that I will show you in a minute. So how do we do this? We'll grab the dumbbell, keep it close to the knee, okay? The further you kind of put it away, if I put it like here next to my glutes, you're not gonna feel it as much. And just practicing with opening this and closing. So this is a very easy movement for my lovely beginners. To begin with, remember to keep your feet together, not open. So like this. Let's say you master this, you become really good at this. Now let's try a little bit harder exercise, okay, what we're gonna be doing. Still same position as the clam. I want you to separate this time the leg, and you'll be shifting your weight forward. So it's almost like I'm not like this. You see, I'm kind of rotating a little bit this way, okay? Can you see the difference? I'm like this, rotating a little bit this way, and putting my weight onto almost like my knee over here. So obviously we can get it a little bit closer to make it a little bit easier. And I want you to kind of balance your body with your elbows and knees. So lift yourself up, okay? So it's gonna be a little bit awkward at first to get used to it, and then come down. Lift, and then come down. Raising your hips up toward the ceiling and then down. So these are really good, and you really feel them. Also very good progression with your weight. Now, next exercise that we're gonna be doing, last but not least, this time we're gonna be using our lovely bench over here to finish off. This is a really good exercise. It kind of emulates a little bit the idea of what we're doing with the 45-degree kickback, but we're doing it lay down. Okay, so obviously we have no cable machine. So how we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be laying on the side of the bench. This foot, so the one that is outside, not the one that is touching the bench, the other one, okay? We're gonna be pushing it backwards, not where this foot is, back. So behind where this foot is staying, okay? Behind this foot. And what we're gonna be doing with this foot, we're gonna rotate it. So from here to here. So we're gonna rotate it towards, if you're standing like this, towards 9 p.m. Okay, think about 9 p.m. Same thing, same concept as before. We're gonna be slightly rotating forward our body. And like this, with our foot rotated, we're gonna be lifting it down and then using our glutes over here to lift it up. I don't want you to think I'm lifting up and down. Your glutes are doing the movement, okay? So down, squeezing your glutes as you come up and down again. Nice and easy. Now we're gonna be doing it with the weight over here, because to get to the wells we have no weight apart from gravity doing this work. Again, same thing. Let's repeat the movement. So leg kicking out, putting the weight here, rotating it, and then kicking and pushing with elbows. 3. Amazing. Perfect. This is something that you have to practice with time, and why it's super important for you to keep doing the same exercises every time instead of changing. I want you to focus on these exercises and do it every single week until you become good at something. If you keep changing exercise, your brain does not have the capacity to actually learn the pattern and then start putting weight on and becoming stronger. This is how you grow, by the way. It's not by changing exercises every single time you train. The only way is to become good at an exercise, mastering it, then doing the progression like I showed you. So you start from beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and then be able to add more weight with this over time. Okay, so first you will start with lighter weight until you get the movement pattern, and then adding more weight, pushing yourself. Okay, I want you to push yourself. Don't train just to tick a box. Muscles need stimulus, need something to break them and grow. Okay, and of course your nutrition, darling. If you're not eating enough protein and you're not calories, all this work that you're doing, you're just wasting time. Nutrition needs to be paired up with your training. No training, no nutrition, no gains, basically. And if you want me to help you with everything, including the nutrition, by the way, this is what we do. Link down below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, you found this useful, it taught you something. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss more tips and tricks. And thank you so much for watching. Amore, ciao.